Welcome to Living Up's Conversations with Smart People, where we discuss topics related to self-care, lifestyle design, and personal growth. And today I'm super excited to be interviewing Mary McCarthy, who is an author, and her book is called Start Journaling for the Health of It Right Now. Gosh, I love puns. Mary helps health-conscious women heal the issues in their tissues and master life's spiritual, physical, and emotional challenges. Today, we're going to talk about the life-changing magic of therapeutic journaling. And I am super passionate about this because journaling is one of the number one tools I use in my self-care practice. And it's one of the reasons I published the self-care planner and the lifestyle design planner. It's just such a great way, especially for introverts, I think, to kind of get their thoughts outside of them on paper. And it is absolutely therapeutic. So thank you so much, Mary, for being here and talking with us today.
Thank you for having me, Stacy. I'm always excited to spread the word.
Yeah. So let's dive into this idea of therapeutic journaling. I mean, I think a lot of people have heard the word journaling, and it means a lot of different things depending on who you ask. So tell us about therapeutic journaling. What is it?
Okay, therapeutic journaling, I call it journaling for the health of it. Therapeutic journaling is basically therapy, then your therapist is your journal, and you are using the writing process to help you understand your thoughts, your feelings, understand who you are, what's going on, and help you with any internal issues, problems, challenges. I like to say that therapeutic journaling helps you heal the financial, the health, and the relationship issues. See that there are really three categories that we have challenges with, and it's a way just to release, express, get into your mind, your body, your soul, and understand what's really going on down there. We have historically been very much disconnected, and we've been living in our head so much. It really helps us return to our body and our soul and help us truly live and create a life that we really want to live based on who we are and what we love and our passions.
Yeah, I love the link in seeing it as a therapy. And I'm a big believer in working with therapists. I think it's great to have, just like having a primary care physician, having a therapist that you can turn to in those moments. But you don't always necessarily need to seek out a professional to work through some of the things that come up in life, unless it's ongoing and you're not able to address it. But I love the idea of having something. Many therapists recommend it as part of, work together. It's uncovering from a day-to-day perspective, what's going on, and kind of helping you unravel and put together what it is you're even dealing with. So how did you come to discover this as being so therapeutic? Do you mind sharing what led you to the journaling?
Certainly. I got into journaling for purely physical therapy purposes. I had about 20 some years ago an MS episode, exacerbation, that I lost feeling on the right side of my body, or most of the feeling, so I wasn't able to function. At that point, I was a high-powered, I had a career woman. I owned my own management consulting business. So, of course, I needed a procedure right away to teach me how to write with my left hand. So I was talking to someone, and she recommended The Morning Pages by Julia Cameron. Are you familiar with
The
that?
Artist's Way, right?
Artist's Way, yes.
Yeah.
So The Morning Pages, every morning, you just sit down and you write 3 pages of whatever. So I thought, oh, that's okay. That would be, that's a good procedure and be very easy to do and just, get me up and functioning with my left hand ASAP. Well, as I got into the process, it was such a spiritual, magical, mystical, therapeutic situation. I just really could not believe. I just remembered so many things from my childhood. It was just fascinating. And I became left-handed in a relatively short period of time, because I realized in doing the morning pages that I always was left-handed. And then in early grade school, the nuns changed me.
Wow.
So it was just like, oh my goodness. And then, like I said, and so I just got in, just said, wow, I'm gonna keep at this. And I just I kept finding more and more things about my childhood. I rediscovered my love that I wanted to learn how to sing and be a singer. And it's just a magic. So I thought, oh my gosh, this is unbelievable. I have to set, that's what's going to be my next business. I'll set that up and share this with the world. It's just like unbelievable.
Isn't it amazing how when our paths change course without, unexpectedly, whether it's a medical condition or a change in relationship, or, I mean, there's a million different reasons we find ourselves on these paths that we didn't even know existed. And the things that you discover along that path are almost gifts, like they're gifts wrapped up in what sometimes doesn't feel great in the outset, but I love that you were able to connect some of those dots from earlier in your life and discover this creative outlet.
Oh yes, and we, like I said, we are the way are raised and taught. It's very much left brain and very analytical, and the head, the head, the head. And as children, we come into this world with all our creativity and talents and everything like that, and we get it. We're taken up into our head. But so this the journaling gives us the opportunity to return to our body, and it's just like, as you said. It's amazing when I just find that challenges are opportunities that are requesting action, and it's just like to me it's just really funny. And just the whole, as I'm sure in your experience with journaling, just the things that you've been thinking or feeling that you didn't know that you were thinking and feeling about yourself, it's like, that's crazy. So it's just fascinating. It's just like I said, it's just really amazing to be able to discover who we truly are.
Yes. And it seems like every time I talk with someone about journaling, I learn something new about the benefits of it, because we can use it in so many different ways. We can use it to manage our mindset. I know people who, and I've used it just in every way that I'm going to describe, but I have used it to get some negativity out of me. I have
Mm-hmm.
used, just kind of get your rant out so it's not inside of you anymore. And I've also used it to kind of shift my mindset to a positive solution oriented instead of complaining, which can be therapeutic. Is like, okay, what am I going to do right now? And so you kind of get that brainstorming approach to journaling. And sometimes it's just random stuff, like with the artist's way and the morning pages or evening pages is just kind of like, okay, what's going to come out? Who knows? If there's going to be maybe the next big idea for my business, or if I've been dreaming of starting a business, maybe just something divine comes to you because you allowed that space for your brain to put it out there on paper. So what are some other health benefits or just general benefits that you have seen come from this journaling practice?
Well, I did take a look at things from a physical and emotional and a spiritual point of view. I completely agree with what you were saying, Stacy. I have found that there's nothing that my journal can't help me with. It's be it from the physical point of view, I'm always having discussions with my body. And if I don't get a whole lot of aches and pains, but it's something like, okay, what's going on? But I have just found that that it really helps you physically to get into your body and your body parts, because it helps you get beyond just the purely, oh, I got a headache, I got to take a pill. That it really gets you into, oh my goodness, and just the feelings that you had as a little kid about such and such. It's just fascinating. So as far as benefits, at this point, I cannot think of anything it cannot do. And I really love what you were saying about the biggest thing for me is really working on mindset and and behavior and just being able to realize, oh, I have a choice. I can make a change, or I can keep going through it again and again and ruminating, or else it's just like I can go for it and just see where we go and see where I can go next, and just really giving yourself permission to go on your exploration inside of you. Like I said, and it's all that's what's a big behavior change. It's something that it's just so selfish and self-care, all those types of issues. But they were trained out or taught out of us when we were kids. But it's like, oh yeah, it's really true that if you take time with yourself and self-care, you can help yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. So it's just like I said, and to me, for me, the biggest benefit is really helping, shall I say, retrain our brain, and just really helping us realize that there's just so much in us, and we're really a universe of infinite possibilities.
Absolutely. And this is, I think I'm not going to say that it comes naturally for some people. Some people are drawn to journaling for whatever reason, maybe more so than others. But I do know that some people struggle with it. Maybe it's been suggested to them by a therapist or a friend, have you tried journaling? Or, maybe you should try journaling. And there are a fair number of people who struggle with it. And I'm wondering if there's any suggestions that you have for newcomers to this idea of therapeutic journaling. What are some simple ways to get started?
The easiest way that I have found is for people to spend some time, take some time for themselves, a pen and a pad, and write a question at the top of the page, like, oh, I'm really having a problem getting started with journaling, or my husband left the uh, uh, cap off the toothpaste for the 15th time. What am I going to do about it? That's the easiest way, is just to put whatever question is really bugging you, or whatever. And then the key is, allow morning pages, just write fast. And it's going to be crazy, and it's going to be, you're going to hear the inner critic, and that it's just an understanding and acceptance that we have been living in fear and overwhelmed, that it has been controlling us. So this is a whole new behavior change. So the best thing, the easiest thing I do, rather than, and in addition to all those feelings that people have, most of us have had a really tough writing experience as a child. We had the teacher that told us we couldn't write. So that in addition to the other issues in our tissues that are going on top of that, we've had really bad experiences with writing. So I think part of it's, there are a whole lot of emotional issues going on. So like I said, I've just found, and the feedback I've gotten is just to ask a question and write really fast and get into experiencing that, because your head is going to be, going crazy. So like I said, I think to ask a question and then just write, and that way you have the experience, and it'll be like, ooh, this is really interesting, or it'll just say, oh my gosh, I don't want to go there. So that's what people, to, like I said, that you have, it really helps you figure out, is it for you or not. So like I said, writing the question and then writing really fast, because inner critics and overthinking heads really hated when you do anything for yourself. That's so selfish.
You're so right. We do carry those beliefs around with us that, I'm not a writer, I'm not creative, or any of these things I hear commonly from people, especially the ones struggling with journaling. And when you said earlier to give ourselves permission, I thought it was really beautiful because when we allow and just say, you know what, I don't know what's going to come out, but I'm going to allow the process. Maybe I write for 30 seconds, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe I just am into a flow and more comes. But I think just allowing the space to do that and for whatever is to come out is really a loving thing we can do for ourselves. And I also like the journal prompt idea because it helps me, especially if I feel like if there's a challenge I'm working through, especially some of the things that one of the big questions, and I talk about this in the studio, is one of my favorite journal prompts is, what do I want to come of this? And that kind of shifts my thinking to solutions, and I can think about the best case scenario and what do I need to do. Another one that's not so much a question is, I am going to. And that also puts me into action. I tend to think a lot in my head and I'm like, oh, I'll get stuck for hours in the brainstorming and planning, but I have to push myself into the action state. And that helps me map out like actual things I can do. So the prompts are really, really powerful.
Yes, and I'll use this as an opportunity to put a plug in on my website. I'm up to about 379 journal prompts.
Oh, great.
If
I'll
people,
put that link in below the video.
so it's just yeah, and there are unique journal prompting. I mean, sometimes there are quote or something that it's like, you know, what's she talking about, or what does this mean, and just something to, like you say, to get you going. So it's just I just find that you know, yeah. So that I just wanted to put a plug in for Queen right now.
Well, I'll definitely share that link below this video. Another thing that came to mind as we were talking is, you know, it's great to fill up journals, and I am notorious for filling up several each year, and that's part of the reason that I included more notes pages in this recent release of the Lifestyle Design Planner, because I like to have everything in one place, but sometimes there's just, you need a lot more paper.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how you do this, Mary, but there is value in going back over some of our old notes, even if you're not writing a book and trying to remember things that have happened in your past. I have found it really valuable to, at the end of the year, usually in December, I will comb through some of my, well, all of my journals from the year just to see what happened. And part of that practice is releasing things that have happened that I don't want to carry over into the new year. And part of it is to celebrate the things that I forgot about, that experiences that I had, or just goals that I've met, things like that. And then it also helps you really get clear on, okay, well, what do I want now of all, maybe I had an idea back in January that I totally forgot about that I want to bring into that next year with me. So I just want to remind listeners, and maybe you have something else to add, but there's value in going, it's not just write it and put it in a drawer and then you have dust collecting those journals. There is use in going back over some of the thoughts that you had. And I don't know, do you have anything to add to that?
No, I just like to say that in journaling, there's only one right way to journal, and it's your way. So that is what's so fantastic about journaling. It's like that's the way that works for you, and that's great. With me, I finish a journal, I put it in the trash. So it's just and I think that's, again, it gets back to the permission thing. Is like, and I hear so many when I'm talking with clients, when I say things like there's only one right way to journal your way, it's like, oh, there's this big sigh that, and so you're right. So, and I think that's what, again, this is so fantastic about, it's an individual, unique, personalized situation. It's like, it sounds like, wow, that's, you know, that system or that way of you know, of your journaling practice, you know, that's Stacy's journaling practice. And the way I do my thing, that's my journaling practice.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's so cool, is that it's like there are no right or wrong answers. You know, you're not going to get the red pen from your third grade a teacher or whatever. So it's just like, yeah. So, yeah. So, but I think too, it's like, and that's what's so fantastic. There's always something. It's like, what do I want to do about this? Or just, it's just amazing the opportunities that are in the journal.
Well, thank you for saying that too, that, some people, they spend so much time on the journaling, and I toss mine after I'm no longer using them as well, or burn them if you're concerned about someone finding what you've written. I know that's a real concern for some. And in fact, I have some clients who use a whiteboard and then they can erase it so it's not something anyone would ever read. But you're right, it is very personal, and there's not a wrong way to do it. And you have to feel comfortable. Like, it has to be actually therapeutic and beneficial, right? That's the point of doing it, is so that it nurtures you and your soul in some way. So I love that. That's perfectly, like, that's part of your practice, is you complete one and then you start a fresh one and the other one goes away. So thank you for reminding us that there is no wrong or right way. Well, the right way is your way. So there's no wrong way.
The right way is your, exactly. That's again, it's just, again, and it's like, really just recognizing that, oh, this is who I am. This is what I love. This is what I mean, it's like my hashtag is me first rather than the me too. It's me first. This is a whole new experience. Is about, connecting with our true self and being and exploring and being who we truly are and what we want to do and what works for us. And that's, something that is a big behavior change, because we're carrying, as I said, so many issues in our tissue, so many things that need to be, processed from childhood and other experiences, and that and journaling is the way to do it. So, but it's like it's fantastic, because it's like it's really like having a childhood. A part of childhood you never had, this like plays, like it's all for you. Whatever you feel. My favorite 4-letter F word. Feel. So it's just.
I love that. Well, that does bring us full circle, because journaling is a form of self-care. If that is your thing, I always encourage people to experiment with different self-care practices. Try journaling, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. But you can always circle back at different times in your life. I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and we acknowledged that over time, our preferences change. Maybe you'll find a new style of journaling that works for you. Maybe it's doodling, or maybe it's something, some other kind of outlet or expression. And I asked this question of all of my guests on this interview series, Mary, but I'm curious to know, aside from journaling, is there anything in your self-care practice or toolbox that has been helpful for you that you'd be willing to share?
I would say probably the last year or so that I have been doing a somatic meditation. I was trained by a gentleman by the name of Reggie Ray, and the focus when you're in meditation is on your body, not from a medical establishment point of view. Oh, I got a pain here. No, it's just really being open to all your somatic process. So, I find too that when I put it together with journaling, like sometimes in the morning I'll do a page of journaling and go into the meditation, or go into or meditate and then do a page of journaling after. So I find that meditation is really a really fantastic self-care tool. And I said, putting it together with the journaling, it's like, wow, you got a double whammy there.
Yeah, that is, I mean, I can see how those two would be really, I love how you kind of bookend the two, right? Journal, see what happens, and then see what else is below the surface there that maybe the meditation can help you pull out.
Yes, so it's like that. It's really very, very interesting. And I think too, just the whole process of being with yourself and just really changing your whole inner relationship. It's really, journaling is truly a relationship, and the relationship with developing a relationship and improving the relationship with ourselves, which is something that again we were just never we never got into. Like I said, the places that were I'm going and we go now with journaling is just like, oh my goodness, I just never, beyond my wildest dreams, to just really see myself as far as what's going on inside as a universe. And it's just like, wow, there's a whole world right inside of us, and journaling helps us really do the exploration, the adventures, and like I said, that's what. And then with the meditation, even expanding it further. Who would have guessed? So it's just.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you have, and I will include your website at the, beneath this video in the description. But it sounds like you have quite a few resources that people can access about how to expand their journaling practice. And I think you've published at least one or a handful of books. Is that right?
Right. Well, I have on the site, uh, like I said earlier, that with 370 some journaling prompts, I have a whole blog dedicated to journaling journeys, which are stories of other journalers and how they've used their journal and things like that. So that's very, very popular. And also in my store, I have probably in the neighborhood of 20 plus different, I call them courses, guidebooks, workbooks, everything from love your body to heal your life to take control of your health, that people can use, that helps them as a guide in delving into issues in their tissues further. So it's just and I just came out with the one that you talked about, start journaling for the health of it right now. That was the answer to all the questions of how do I get started journaling. So I designed that workbook to get people introduced to what journaling for the health of is all about. And like you say, go through the experience of what it's all about, and then decide, yeah, I'm going to keep going, or yeah, I really need to deal with my money issues, or I need to deal with that. So that, it's like I've tried to come up with everything that I possibly think, every answer and respond to every objection. But like I said, with that one, it's just get again, as you said earlier, oh, how do I get started, or oh, is it for me, and all that type of thing. So
Yes, experiment, experiment. That's the bottom line here, is that trust yourself to know what's helpful and what isn't. And journaling is just one of many self-care tools to put in your toolbox. And it's easy. It's relatively free. I mean, you could use scrap paper for that matter. And it's just, you'll find your style if it appeals to you and you're drawn to it. I will, again, thank you for mentioning those resources. I'll make sure that I include those. And before we wrap up here, Mary, is there anything else that came to your mind that you want to make sure to mention? Things that we've discussed today, maybe sometimes they bubble things to the surface, and I just want to make sure if there was anything else that you wanted to add.
No, I think we've covered everything. I just really would like to emphasize that there's only one right way to journal, in your way, and it's just just really like to take a look at. Yeah, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. But no, I say that was my key thing, is to just say there's only one right way to journal, and it's your way, and it's like, go for it. And that's what my hashtag always is, just right on. It's just like, just do it. It's just like, and you will get into finding places that you never ever remotely imagined,
Yeah.
exist inside of you.
Well, I think that's a beautiful note to end on, is just that very reminder that it's personal, that you get to decide how you do it. And just thank you for being here and talking through this. I think there are so many health benefits that we didn't even get into today that come along with getting in touch with what you're thinking, because our beliefs drive our behavior. And if we get in touch with what we are thinking and we can see it out there on paper, we have something to work with. And as you said, we can choose differently. So thank you so much, Mary. I appreciate your time today, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you so much, Stacy. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.